this is the Slaughterhouse in Erlangen. And yeah, so what are the purposes, targets for negotiations? Firstly, obviously when you start negotiations, the aim of negotiations is always an agreement, to find an agreement with which both parties can live afterwards, right? Just a legal perspective, right? Without any emotional aspects. So, and what can be the terms of such an agreement with a slaughterhouse? Of course, IP rights, I don't know, like image rights, which means, of course, the people there might not like that they are in videos or on pictures, as well as number plates, as well as like the names of the companies, of the truck companies and stuff like this. Then as well, interaction is very, very important, that you have a respectful relation to each other. Like there's no, I would say, offensive activism going on, like we just murder you all assholes or something like this, right? And also the workers should not like attack the activists. So this was also something I was negotiating with the slaughterhouse management. Then preparations, that's what they then did in our slaughterhouse. The night before the vigil, they called all the truck companies and prepared them to what's going to happen. And so they were rather surprised. Then you agree how the trucks shall be stopped. In our case, the slaughterhouse worker stopping the trucks for us, which is good, I think, because it's less dangerous for us. If the trucks rolls over him, well. And now, where's the cursor now? The cursor. Ah, I got it. Sorry. So this is the slaughterhouse in Erlangen. And this is right here. This is the entrance area. And as you can see, there's a road right in front of it, and there's a lot of traffic going on. There's like rush hour in the morning and in the evening, so it would have been really hard to stop trucks on this road, right? And so when I planned the first vigil, I thought, well, it's almost impossible, right, to stop trucks there because the whole traffic will go crazy. So I said, I don't want to, but I have to talk to those guys in the slaughterhouse. So we wrote an email. I'm asking and explaining who we are, what we're going to do, and that we want to like do the vigil exactly here in this area, in the entrance area, which is property of the slaughterhouse. And we wrote that in that email, and the reply was no. Why should we do that? So I called them straight away. I said, well, I understand that you don't want to have us on the property, but could we just talk? Could we talk, sit together and talk about it? Just zooming a bit. By the way, this is the area where the pigs are going in, and this is the area where the cows are going in. Just so you can understand and see how it looks like. And anyway, I went in, and then he said, okay, why not? We can talk. We have a coffee. It won't help, but we're going to do it anyway. And I said, okay, then I'll come. And yeah, here we are again. Okay. And yeah, and I went in, and we talked like 3 hours, and the result was at the first vigil, they stopped the trucks for us, they let us on the property, everything was good. So it's important that, but we come to that at a later stage, when you negotiate, that you try to point out the advantages they have from doing that, right? But I will come back to that later. So the other purposes are effectivity of the vigil. I mean, if we want to do a vigil, we want to do a vigil, right? If we want to do a vigil, we want to stop as many trucks as possible. We want to get as many footage as possible. So that's why we're doing a vigil, obviously. If we want to do some other kind of activism at the slaughterhouse, okay. But if you want to do a vigil, we want to do this, right? We want to bear witness. So that's one other reason. And what comes out of that negotiations also is that you have a very relaxed atmosphere during the ritual, and I think it's a peaceful atmosphere. There are no animosities between slaughterhouse workers and us. Meantime, we say hi to each other when they're coming to work, and we say hi to them, and how's it going? And it's really like, it's a good relation, right? We don't like what they do, right? Actually, we hate it, right? But yeah, on a personal level, we can get along with each other right now, right? And everybody knows me. The tall guy's coming again, oh no. And that also is, I think it's good for the animals, right? It's a difference when you can like walk slowly to the truck. There's no rush, and it's even the animals are less stressed, as I would say. Yeah. And there's a side effect as well. I mean, you talked about it on Friday, Alex, a bit. If you talk to them, no matter about what you're talking about, you get to know each other, and you like begin to accept or even like each other, right? Like in my case, my contact at the slaughterhouse, Josef, let's say, at the beginning he was like, he never said more than one word in a sentence, right? It was like, yeah. But meanwhile, we're really like talking to each other, and it's a good relation. And regarding that topic, I prepared a short video, which is very interesting, also in relation to the topic we had just before my presentation. I think it's working well. I hope it's working now. We had some issues with it. So that guy, I don't know if you heard of him, it's Daryl Davis. I haven't heard of him before, but I just by incidents saw a video about him. There's also a movie about him, and that guy, he obviously is a black man, and he was playing a piano in a bar, a Jerry Lee Lewis song. And when he had a break, he went to the bar, and there was a white guy coming up to him and said, "I never have seen a black guy playing a Jerry Lee Lewis song." And they started to talk, and they had a beer together, and it turned out that this guy was one of the heads of the Ku Klux Klan in this state in the US. And they became friends. And one question he asked that guy was, "How can you hate me when you don't even know me?" And yeah, I'm going to show you that video. I think it's good. I hope the sound is working. Are you still here? It's not playing. James? Supposed to play like.
Where will it play?
Here in that monitor. Let me try the other thing. Yeah, we can do it as well, yeah, sure. But it should actually play here, so maybe it's...
Maybe it's on YouTube?
It is on YouTube, actually, it's linked to YouTube, and it always works, but now it's not working.
It could be an internet issue as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's easy, but we're going to do it anyway.
Should we try to do it and you want to talk about it?
So where's the router?
I have it connected with a hotspot to my mobile.
Now you're on Google, you're on YouTube.
We
have a problem, and it's a big one. We all live in a world where tons of people...
James, again?
Yeah, I think you'll have to.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You want to say something about
Is it? Can you see it now?
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, it just shows and it explains.
It's a king on the desktop.
Yeah. Okay.
Good, just go. Good.
believe stuff and hold opinions and values that we think are just stupid, or even worse, evil. Do we all just escalate the war until somebody gets seriously hurt or killed? Obviously, that's not helpful, but the question remains. When people believe in wrong-headed or terrible things, how do we actually persuade them to stop believing the bad ideas and get them to start believing in good ones instead? One incredible man named Daryl Davis might have the answer. Daryl is the subject of a fantastic documentary called Accidental Courtesy, directed by Matt Ornstein. For the past 30 years, Daryl has been traveling the country as a musician, engaging in conversations and even forming friendships with members of the Ku Klux Klan. What is it that compels someone to sit down and talk to their worst enemies instead of fighting?
How can you hate me when you don't even know me? Throughout my life, I've been looking for an answer to that. So I began seeking out members of the Ku Klux Klan.
It's a great question. And to find out, Daryl went on a mission to seek out and engage with high-ranking members of the KKK. He's invited them into his home, he's had countless conversations, and as unlikely as it seems now, considers a number of them to be his friend.
Tom Robb will tell you that he is not my friend. He'll make that very clear to you. I am Tom Robb's friend, and I feel that one day he will come around.
Daryl might say that he's not really even doing anything special besides treating people with respect and kindness. I guess that's true, yet it's still something almost no one else has the courage to do, even when the risks are considerably lower. But Daryl's approach has a lot of empirical support from the neuroscientists and psychologists who study persuasion. Just like how we know from psychological studies that people's amygdalas, the part of the brain that processes raw emotions, can actually hijack their rational minds and create a fight or flight response when they feel threatened or attacked, and how we know that presenting facts or arguments that directly conflict with people's core beliefs or identities can actually backfire, causing people to cling to those beliefs more tightly after they've been presented with contrary evidence. We also know a lot about how to talk to people in ways that are actually persuasive. In Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, he describes what he calls the principles of persuasion. One of these principles is called reciprocity, and it's based on the idea that people feel obliged to treat you the way you treat them. So if you treat them with kindness and humility, most people will offer you the same courtesy. On the other hand, if you treat them with contempt, well, what do you think?
While I don't support any racist agenda or supremacy agenda, whether it's black supremacy or white supremacy or whatnot, I do support their right and their freedom of speech and their right to express their views. And in doing so, guess what? They're reciprocated.
Another principle Cialdini describes is the idea of liking. It's almost too obvious, but it turns out that if someone likes you personally and believes that you like them, it's easier to convince them that your way of thinking is worth considering. One easy step towards being liked is to listen to others and find common ground through shared interests. This can be a bridge or a shortcut to getting other people to see you as a friend, or even better, as part of their tribe. Now, you might think somebody like Daryl Davis would have nothing in common with a KKK member, right? That's not true.
If you spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, with your arch enemy, you will find that you have something in common with him or her. And if you spend 10 minutes, you'll find you have something else in common. And the more you find in common and you build upon what you have in common, the things that you have in contrast, like skin color, begin to matter less and less.
Over time, forming relationships with members of the Klan has had an interesting side effect. In the last couple decades, over 200 of America's most ardent white supremacists have hung up their robes and hoods for good. Many of those robes now hang in Daryl's closet. And in a lot of cases, these individual conversions have much bigger consequences and may end multi-generational cycles of bigotry.
My name is Aaron, and I'm 12.
So what do you think about your parents belonging to these organizations?
I think it's fine.
Why, sweetie?
One, they're allowed to like their race. They're allowed to be proud of who they are, too.
Are you going to be a member of the group also?
Yes.
So now both daughters are in the Klan. And their father, he got sentenced to 10 years in a federal prison. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to call Tina, the mother. I flew with them to Chicago and drove them out to Marion, Illinois, the federal penitentiary, where their father was in prison, so they could visit him. And nobody in the Klan had ever done that for them before. And so they had a turnaround.
Well, my little girl came a long way. You know, no thanks to her father and I. We really did our best to destroy our kids.
Me and my husband Harley would like to extend our best wishes to the city of Rockville, Maryland, as we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Neither me nor my family are members or are affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan anymore.
We live in a time when a lot of people are saying that the only answer to hate and awful ideas is to meet them with even more hate, more anger, outrage, and even violence. Recently, Dan Harmon, creator of Rick and Morty, Community, and one of my favorite comic books ever, even said that the time for talking was over.
We have sat, we have talked, we have argued, we have pondered. The discourse is over.
But I disagree. Most of human history is filled with people allowing their arguments to turn into bloody, horrific warfare. It's only the commitment to dealing with our adversaries peacefully through free speech and conversation that has allowed us to become more civilized.
I did not respect what he had to say. I respected his right to say it.
And if these techniques can work to convince die-hard white supremacists that somebody like Daryl Davis is worthy of respect, imagine how effective they can be with your friends, neighbors, and coworkers who don't actually hate you or the things you stand for. Who knows? If you have more genuine conversations with people outside your bubble, you might even find yourself changing a little bit for the better as well. The way to deal with wrong or evil ideas isn't shouting them down or starting a fight. It's having the courage to do what Daryl did and making a friend out of an enemy. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this very special episode of Out of Frame. If you have an idea for a video you'd like to see me make in the future, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to see more video essays like this, hit that subscribe button and check us out as @FeeOnline on all the social media.
I don't know where the mouse is. Oh, that's why.
I did like the video. But yeah, I think it's very, very interesting to watch it, and I think a lot of what was in the video is true, and we can apply it in our situations, if it's outreach or if it's rituals or if it's infighting, right? I mean, I think it's a very, very impressive man, and as I told you before, I have that contact, Joseph, which I talked to in the first negotiations, like for 3 hours. We sat together with him and the managing director of the Slaughterhouse. He is the operational head or operational manager of the Slaughterhouse, and we sat there and sit there for 3 hours. And of course, during every ritual, I was talking to him all the time. And recently, I had the opportunity to go into the Slaughterhouse. Thanks to him, he told me that I can do this. And also during that visit, he told me that he will quit his job. So it's exactly the same thing. What happened with the Ku Klux Klan guys? He said he will quit his job. I said, why are you quitting his job? He said, I just can't stand it anymore. I said, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. He was working in this business since he's 16 years old. And that's exactly what Daryl Davis was telling in this video. It works, right? And actually, he asked for a AV t-shirt. Well, I don't know what it means, but well, he don't know what it means. Yeah. Okay. He liked it. Okay. So next thing, what are the basics when you're negotiating, which is like the core of the presentation? How you should behave and how you should treat your negotiation partners. I call them the 10 Commandments. So the first thing is, don't be afraid to ask for what you want, right? If you go in negotiations, tell what you want to have. I was going in there and said, well, I want to do the ritual on your property. And they said, no way, that's the company's property, you can't go there. Especially not with activists, with those crazy guys, right? And I said, well, let's talk about it, right? And then, of course, yeah, shut up and listen, which is also very important. And then I did them do the talk, right? And they were telling me, well, we're afraid. And the Ulm video, where the driver punched the activist, was like a few days before, and it was circulating around all the Slaughterhouse managements. And I said, we don't want to happen this at our place. And I said, exactly, I want the same. I don't want the same happen here. That's why I'm here. That's why I want to talk to you. And also, it's very important to try to be not that emotional during that negotiation, because they said some very stupid things like, we need meat for our health. Like we are doing this for society because society they need food, right? And I was like, okay, with a fist in my trousers, right? But I was staying calm. And also if there's like silence, don't be like afraid of silence during negotiations. Just use it and just shut up and wait till they break the silence, right? It's powerful. Then the other thing, adapt and work out commonalities, right? And during negotiations, it's important to try to find out what does the other person like, what is the person interested in. When we went up to the office where we had the negotiations, stairs there were like stickers of football clubs, right? Like there was a FC Nürnberg sticker, and said, oh, there were fans of FC Nürnberg here as well. And Josef said, no, I'm from Bayern Munich. I said, what? You're crazy? And so we all had found something in common, that we were interested in football and watch football sometimes, and so that was also very, very good. And then, of course, you should not go there without any preparation. You should try to get as many knowledge as possible regarding that place, regarding that person, and do your homework. Because if you show them that you have knowledge, that you have like the information, that you appear competent, right? And that is what helps very much in negotiations.
What type of information would you suggest?
To find out how many, for example, how many animals are slaughtered, right? How many trucks are coming in? We know that at this slaughterhouse are slaughtered like 800 pigs per day and 300 cows. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. How do you know? Yeah, we have also information and stuff, and that was impressive to them, right? And that we are like into their business, and we know have also like knowledge about their business, and it's also like an advantage if you have that. And this is, for me, that is the most important thing. This one, always be willing to walk away. You should not be going in that negotiations and ducking and begging for something like, can you please, we need that. No, go in and say, we want that. If not, no worries, then we do it another way, right? And that was exactly what I told them as well. If you do not let us on your property, Okay, I cannot guarantee that we have the same pictures coming from your slaughterhouse individual. And then they were like, ooh. So I have not control over everybody in the group. I cannot guarantee that somebody is jumping in front of a truck. I cannot guarantee, I'm sorry. I can try, but I cannot guarantee. But if you do it on your property, this situation, and you stop the trucks, this situation will never happen. And they started to think, right? And I could see it by their eyes and their faces, right? And then we switched over. They said again, yeah, but how about protein and stuff? And saying, we're gonna stay here. And then we came back to it, and as I said, the outcome was we're doing every ritual on their property. They stopped the trucks for us. Nearly every truck is stopping, and it's good, of course, for the ritual if you want to do ritual. During the negotiations, you should not rush. As I said, if they say no, you can't, but don't be too pushy, right? If they say you can't go on the property, then maybe switch to another topic, right? Come back to football for a second, and then come back again to that topic again. So, but be persistent, right? Aim high and expect the best outcome. It means in negotiations you should ask even for more than you want, right? So that you have some things to give up during negotiations, right? So, don't know, if just ask for more, like, and so you can give up little things, and so you can get the important things. So you can get the ritual working. And then focus on the other side's pressure, not yours. As I said, it's your problem. Do you have these pictures here of a truck driver punching an activist? That's your problem. That's not our problem. It's a problem for the ones that get hit, but like in a bigger picture, it's the problem, a big image problem for the slaughterhouse. Yeah. Okay. So results. That you love to give stories to tell. Of course, if you have more time, you have more stories to tell. And as I said, I had even the chance then to go into the slaughterhouse, and I was at the whole morning. And this picture, those two pictures are taken in the slaughterhouse from the death row, and I spent some time with that cow. And a few minutes later, and she was hanging upside down without feet, with her chest cut open and with a net big in her eyes. And
Thank you for being
there was also another story I might share now, because I haven't shared it in that video, which I took afterwards. There was like when I was in the next to them in the death row and the killing lines, and suddenly they said, stop, we have a special case. And there was like an old farmer, right, with a cow. She was like hinken, how do you say hinken? Humpeln, limping, yeah. And the cow was limping. She was quite young, but they said, okay, this is a special case, an urgent case. She's really hurt, and she needs to be slaughtered now. And all the cows in the lines were waiting, and she was walking by them. And all the cows were looking at her, and she was walking, limping, lonely. And even the farmer, the old farmer, he was looking behind her, and he was sad. And he looked at me, and he noticed that I was not from the place, right? And I will never forget the look in his eyes, right? He was like saying, I'm sorry. And he was watching her, and then she was limping to the place where she got the bolt gun shot, and he was watching her, and then after that he came back for a second and said, was she going in? And he said, yeah. She said, and then with his head down, he went out of the room. This is like, that would have never been possible that I could tell that story to people if we would not at these negotiations. So, yeah, thank you.